to Psych Snippets, the first ever web series brought to you by Sarah Reed Children's Center. I'm Dr. Brittany Hayden, a licensed psychologist in the outpatient department at Sarah Reed.
And I am Dr. Sally Richards, also a licensed psychologist and also in the outpatient department at Sarah Reed.
And Sally and I really wanted to start up this video series to offer support to families and children during this really difficult and crazy time that we're living in. We wanted to remind you that we're here for you, and it's not just you feeling all of this anxiety and this stress.
It's us too.
It's us too. And when we do overcome, COVID-19, we really hope to continue this series long after this particular challenge. And our videos are going to cover a variety of topics designed to really assist children and families in not just challenges related to this quarantine, but also on a lot of other topics like stress management and self-care and how in the world you're going to teach your kiddos when they're not in school. So there are going to be a lot of things that we talk about. Now, if you're familiar at all with ERIE, then you've probably heard of Sarah Reed. And the mission of Sarah Reed has always been to promote the emotional well-being of children and families, and with the hopes that we can help them realize their full potential. For nearly 150 years, the agency has been dedicated to improving the lives of children and families, particularly those who faced severe emotional and behavioral challenges. We offer a continuum of services, and even during this coronavirus crisis, we're still offering those services. We have outpatient therapy for children and adults. We have medication management for children, wraparound services, partial services, residential treatment. All of those things are still available to you. If you know that you need extra support but you have no idea what you need, please call us. Our outpatient office coordinator, Mandy, is wonderful and very helpful, and she'll direct you wherever you need to go.
She is the best.
She is.
She's the best, and we're so blessed to have her.
Yes, we are. And I think it's just important to note that every single year, we help over 2,000 children and families through these services. So there's a lot that we have here to offer. One of the cornerstones of Sarah Reed is our focus and emphasis on trauma-informed care. We've really, for the past 12 years, Sarah Reed has been an agency at the forefront in behavioral health to provide trauma-informed services. And we notably do this through the sanctuary model. Now, the sanctuary model is not a specific intervention. It's really a system-wide agency approach, an organizational approach that we use that focuses on helping injured children and families deal with the impact of trauma, while also learning ways to take care of ourselves as the staff when we do that good work. And I think that one of the things that really sets Sanctuary and Sarah Reed apart from other models of trauma-informed care is this emphasis on self-care. Every single staff member, every single child has a self-care plan. And Sally's going to talk a little bit about a specific strategy that she uses for self-care.
So one of the things that I've used for my own self-care over the years comes from a model of therapy called dialectical behavior therapy. And it's an acronym that helps me easily remember the areas of focus that I want to have. And I just want to emphasize that right now, I think it's even more important than normal. I mean, we hear self-care, take care of yourself all the time. And I think when we hear about self-care, we kind of think about take a bubble bath, or eat some chocolate, or go on vacation. And while those are ways that we can take care of ourselves, I think our self-care right now is maybe going to take a little bit different form because we just have different things going on for us right now. And so I wanted to focus on sort of some basics that I want you to focus on just at your foundation. These are kind of foundational self-care strategies, and it follows the acronym, please. The P in please, stands for physical. So really what that means is relating to your physical health. So if you are somebody who maybe gets migraines, or you are susceptible to headaches, make sure that you're doing things to take care of that physical side of yourself. If you're starting to feel under the weather, or it's allergy season, for example, make sure you're taking care of yourself and taking care of those physical symptoms, because those can really have an effect on our mood. It can have an effect on just how we feel, our outlook, our attitude. And so attending to our physical symptoms is really important. So don't ignore those things. A lot of times we do. So if you're feeling something different physically, attend to it. Make sure you're getting enough rest. If you're feeling under the weather, make sure you're staying hydrated and drinking water. And all of those things relate to our physical health. And so when we're attending to that, that is a foundational piece of our overall health and well-being. And it's a form of self-care right now, all the time, but especially right now, it's an important piece. Brittany's going to tell us about what L stands for.
So L stands for limits. And that means limiting things or restricting how much you're checking your Facebook, how much you're watching the 24-hour news cycle. All of those things can kind of contribute to anxiety and stress. I know Sally and I both, one of the things that we work on, and it's always a moving target, is that work-life balance.
Yep.
So one of the things that you have to do is limit how often you're checking emails. I don't know about you, but I've been getting 10 times more email than I ever did before. Don't check your email at all hours of the night. Limit when you're going to do it. Rely on your colleagues to delegate, collaborate, so that you're not kind of handling things all on your own. So setting limits for yourself, professionally, personally, physically, all of those things will be helpful, and it's a form of self-care.
And to add to that with limits, as you may be able to figure out, I'm at home right now, and I've been working from home a lot in an effort to socially, rather physically distance and prevent the spread of this virus. But working at home makes it a whole lot harder to separate work and life, and especially because I'm just in my house all day long. And so I've been trying to come up with strategies to help me with that limit with work-life balance. And so having a set space to work in and just trying to limit my work to that space, making sure that I'm getting out of here, setting a time that I want to be done. And like Brittany said, I won't check my email after that. I won't, outside of my, the work hours that I've set for myself. And I try not to come into this room just again, because personally I need that separation. But that's at least a strategy to help, have that limit with your work and not feeling like you're working all day long, because that can happen, and it can happen easily and quickly. And I would discourage you from working too many hours. It's easy to do when you're working from home. You feel it's harder to have that distinguishing separation, but try in your best way to have that. Oh yeah, now we're on to E, and that's my turn. E stands for eating healthy, and I'm going to disclose this is an area that is one that I'm going to be focusing on, because right now with stress, I want to be eating carbs and pizza and all the yummy, tasty foods that aren't as nutritionally sound as other foods that I know help me feel better. So whole foods like fruits and vegetables and lean proteins. Eating a healthy diet really does have an effect on your mood, on your energy level, limiting the amount of sugar, which again, we want to have it because it feels good. But what happens is it feels good for a very brief period of time, and then we feel pretty lousy, and that we feel lousy for a while. And when we feel lousy, we feel like we want to comfort ourselves more, and it's a very vicious cycle. So trying just to eat some healthier foods, more balanced foods, is a great way. Again, it's a foundational tool to take care of yourself, and it might, if you're like me, require a little extra effort and focus, but it's totally worth it.
I think you can be tempted too now to eat out more. because
Mhm.
there's a lot of delivery services happening. There's a lot of takeout offerings. So it's easier kind of to portion control and do those sort of things whenever you're eating at home, and you can be a little bit more mindful about what it is you're putting in your body.
Good point. Good point.
Okay. The A stands for avoiding substances, and that really means avoiding the excessive use of substances. You don't want to overdo it on alcohol. You don't want to be drinking coffee all day. Those can really ultimately have negative effects on your self-care and the way you feel. So just be mindful about how much substance you're using of any.
And if you're a smoker, be mindful about how many you're smoking, because it's possible that you're smoking more right now.
Yeah.
And so just be mindful of how much you're doing, and try to avoid it if you can. I know that's a hard one, but oh, it's my turn. Okay. S stands for sleep. It's one of my favorite things. I know, and it's one of those things that I can get into. It becomes negative if I start sleeping too much. And I know for a lot of folks, they're wanting to, and their sleep schedules are getting completely out of whack. I know a lot of our school age clients, I'm hearing a lot about sleeping until noon or 1 and staying up into the night. I mean, sleep schedules are just so off. And so one of the things, just pay attention to your sleep schedule. If you're sleeping too much, that's an indicator. For others, they're noticing that their sleep is becoming disrupted. They're having a hard time falling asleep, or they're waking up throughout the night, and that's not normal for them. And so that's an indicator that your stress might be more or affecting you more than you maybe initially realized. And so there's lots and lots and lots of ways to focus on your sleep, to have healthy sleep hygiene, and to get yourself on a good sleep schedule. And like we said, that's going to be one of our topics down the road. And we've also got, just as a side note, we've got a ton of resources on our website. So at sarahreed.org, we have a list of websites that are resources available to you that cover a lot of these topics. So if you're eager and want to learn more, chances are there's something on our website that can help point you in the right direction.
Definitely. Okay, and finally the E. E is for exercise. And as difficult as it can be, try to make an effort just to get up from your computer or your phone or your couch, even just for a few minutes at a time. Walk around the house, walk around your apartment. Whatever it takes for you to just get up and moving, it's going to be good for you.
Mm-hmm. And when we're talking about exercise, we don't mean that you need to start training for the next marathon, or you need to start, P90X or anything like that. I mean, maybe you're at that level, but if you're like me, you just need to get your legs moving a little bit. And so setting your timer on your phone so that it reminds you to get up every hour and just walk around for 5 minutes so that you can get a little bit of movement, that goes a long way. So it doesn't have to be something major. It can be just a slight adjustment to what you're currently doing, and that also makes it a little bit more manageable.
Definitely. So Sally, I know whenever we talk about self-care, a lot of people know all of these things, but it's the actual doing part that's hard. So where do we start?
Okay. That's a really good question, and that's something that I think a lot of people struggle with, is they know what they're supposed to do, but they have a hard time putting their plan into action. And so a couple of strategies for that are, first, pick one activity. Don't pick one of those areas. We gave you 6. Those are 6 kind of foundational areas to focus on, just to take good care of yourself. It's not realistic to do all of them at once, or to even try to do all of them at once. So is there one that really sticks out to you? You'll kind of feel it in your gut, like, oh yeah, that's the one that I need the most. Start with that, and just start with little adjustments like we talked about, like with exercise. It doesn't have to be this major overhaul. That's hard. But a little adjustment, it goes a long way, and you build on that. So pick one, start small, build on it, and set goals for yourself, and have your goals be realistic. Have them be something that's going to challenge you a little bit, but not be so overwhelming that you want to quit. The idea here is to be successful at these things that you're trying and that you're setting out to do. It helps us feel so much better when we're accomplishing the thing that we're setting out to do. So make sure that what you're doing is realistic for you to accomplish. That'll help you feel better. Another strategy that you might want to think about is finding an accountability partner. Think about who your support people are, and for some, like they might want to have a couple of accountability partners, or maybe they want a certain person for a specific area. It could be your spouse or your partner or your parent or your sibling, or depending, it could be your child, it could be your best friend, and it can be somebody that lives several states away that you check in with every day, whether via text, via like a Zoom like this, whether it's a phone call. Not only does that help with the social connection and it helps with that regard, it also gives you somebody that can help you stay on track. When we have somebody or something to be accountable to, we're more likely to follow through with our behavior. So make somebody knowing that, hey, it's my goal that I want to eat a vegetable every dinner. I want to make sure I have a vegetable at every dinner. Who's going to follow up with you and say, did you do it?
Yeah.
Why not? What are you going to do different next time? So, and then maybe you can help that person out, and that'll help you feel better too.
Yeah, those are great, Sally. We hope that you found our intro to self-care helpful, but we hope that you'll join us next week where we take a deeper dive into self-care during quarantine, featuring our guest speaker, Will Phillips, who is a doctoral psychology intern at Sarah Reed. And also be on the lookout for videos that we've designed just for the kiddos in our Children's Corner. It'll have games, activities, and storytelling, and lots of other fun stuff, so be on the lookout for that. And we also wanted to give a shout out to Emily. Yay, Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
For being our collaborator and having all the technical know-how. And she's going to make sure that all of those links and access to our website is all readily available for you down below or in this video.
And if you feel like after looking at our website, or there's something that you'd really like for us to cover in one of these videos, let us know. Drop us a comment and tell us. Ask your questions. Let us know the topics that you're interested in, and we will make every effort to either make those resources available for you on the webpage, or it'll be a topic of conversation for us later.
So thank you so much for listening, and please take care of yourselves and each other.